What's good, everybody? It's your boy KP back at it with the nappy ass head. Alright, now before we get into the discussion, alright, I want y'all to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Alright, drop the intro.
If it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense. Got a thing for a show.
Alright now, people. Now, I just caught wind of this dude. His name is Ruin Leon. I watched a couple of his videos. He's an alright dude. He's an alright dude. We finna get into what essentially I call because I seen this video already, but essentially this video is what I like to call when both sides are equally wrong of an argument. So yeah, so we finna get into it. All right, okay, we finna get into it. So let's do it.
I'm certain you all love when I introduce you to stupid people and how stupid they truly are, and they use their words to try to sound smart, but it never really hits the home run. And I'm certain you remember the woman who wanted to let you all know about those 10 words that are a substitute for the N-word without truly saying the N-word. Well, apparently, a year later, she's back to give you all the sequel that you truly wanted. And I'm gonna be honest, I haven't seen this, so I want to make a bet with everybody who watches this. I want to bet $2,000 that it's really not going to be 10 more words. It's going to be something based on you all misinterpreted what I said and you all are in the wrong.
He was right about that point though, but
and how dare you misinterpret me because I was speaking so clearly and you all took what I said and you wanted to change it. Because the thing about people like this is that they have a specific way about them that always makes me laugh. They say things without clear thought, and then they're surprised and shocked when they are obviously criticized, and then they want to backtrack and try to say, you all misinterpreted what I said. No, lady.
Just to talk about that particular viewpoint that he made right there. See, that's the thing about communication, right? To be able to properly convey what it is. Like, a lot of people don't know how to say exactly what it is they mean. And what do I mean by that is, like, a lot of people don't know how to really phrase what it is that they're thinking, right? So why it is what he said is correct, right? What he said is correct, right? But let's just talk about it from an all around standpoint, right? You have to be able, right, to sometimes not take things at face value. Like, that's also a part of, like, when people speak to me in a vague way, I ask a lot of clarifying questions so that I can understand exactly what it is that you're saying, so that way, you know, your message cannot get misconstrued with what it is. Cause if you say something vague, right, I can take it to the opposite direction, but you mean to take it over here. You know what I mean? Like, just in case y'all don't understand exactly what it is I said, I'm gonna make sure I point out every time that it happens in the video. I'm gonna point it out every fucking time for y'all. So let's just
You brought up 10 words that are somewhat substitutes to the N-word, because in a world where you live in, apparently all the racist white people substitutes to the N-word, because in a world where you live in, apparently all the racist white people have now colluded with each other to create secret vernacular so that
that's not a now thing though, that has been going on. So I mean, but like I said, his experience, what he may live at, is different what other people live at. But genuinely, there is a thing called you know, there's a more subtle there's a more subtle racism going on now, because people can't just be overtly racist. Like, there is a more subtle racism now. Like, you really every to a little degree, everybody have to do these subtle little jabs. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not act like the subtlety of racism, the subtlety of jealousy, right? Or the subtlety of disdainment, right? We're not gonna say and act like these are new concepts, like people just started, like they're just all just magically just started. Like, no, like people will secretly have animosity towards you, and they will show it in various subtle ways. Like, that is the actual thing. So to sit here and act like that's not a thing, that's a little absurd. But again, it is a perspective thing, because where he probably is from, it is probably not like that over there. But I just peep. You just gotta peep game, and I don't know how else to put that.
That when they speak, let's go back. Let's go back. Let's hear out. Let's hear it concisely.
If you use any of these terms or phrases in reference to black people, you are just as racist as the person that actually uses the N-word.
Okay, so if you use a word, for example, because one of the words was lazy, you're just as racist as somebody saying the N-word. And I hate to break it to her, black people are racist.
You heard, if you use any of these terms or phrases with anybody, anywhere, anytime, even when it makes sense to use it, then you're racist. I said, here are the words: thug, ghetto, welfare queen, lazy, race baiter, race grifter, threatening, angry, dangerous.
Now, children, class, anybody?
Let me write them words down. Them lights down low. What the fuck is the name of that song? I don't know why the fuck that song just popped up in my damn head. Hold on. Damn. I don't know where the fuck my pencil's at. Oh, they over there. 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 Okay. Good class is gonna be in session today. Alright? I want y'all to understand, this might be a longer video. Matter of fact, it ain't gonna be no like. It is gonna be a longer video. Cause there's a lot of breakdown.
Even when it makes sense.
Now, what I'm doing is I'm writing all the words that I agree with her on. Okay? I'm not writing down everything this bitch said, but just the shit that I agree with her on.
Ghetto.
Children, class, anybody has any I know a lot of you like to assume that I have an audience of nothing but white people. None of you have been able to prove that. I can't even prove that. To all my black kings and queens, are you meaning to tell me you've never used any of these words in reference to anybody?
Like, I understand what is, like, I understand the point he's trying to make, but his point is a little disingenuous, right? Because it's one thing to categorize one person as one of them things, right? But again, when you're talking about collectively as a whole, right? These technically become tags of a whole community. So it's not necessarily the same as you calling one specific person that. But like I said, I'm gonna break down all this shit later. But just know, like, it's a difference between tagging a whole selective group of people, right? Because then that becomes the new unforbidden word, right? Like, it's just difficult to make the point without me getting censored on this shit. The whole point is. The whole point is, right, it's different when you use it as a collective thought for a whole community, rather than just observing one person and then proceeding to call this person that because you observed their behavior. It's completely different, right? So let's keep it going.
Like, remember the whole conversation about being uncomfortable with ghetto people or thuggish people? You mean to tell me that if I listen to certain people who want to use this over-dramatized vernacular, I'm supposed to sit here and think, oh, well, can't really say that because...
When have, and this is my point, right? This is my point that I will ask you, Leon, is have you ever heard of anybody being called a thug that was not of darker pigment? Would you ever hear somebody being called ghetto that was not of a darker pigment, right? When have you seen a news article that, let's say, of a teenager of a different race? I mean, let's just say Caucasian, right? A teenager of Caucasianity, right? And they do everything to paint him as he was such a nice kid and da da da, right? And then if you get the same end of the black end spectrum, right? You get these what I like to call trademark words of thug and ghetto, right? Like you see the difference into what it is. So I'm saying, like, it would be different, right, if it was collectively used the same all around the board, but it's not collectively used the same. But we're gonna get into that later.
Because I'm just as racist as that white Billy goat over there.
Or you say that we're playing the victim or we are a diversity hire. What you actually mean to say
now, black people do play the victim a lot. I ain't gonna hold you.
You heard calling anyone lazy who's actually being lazy is racist. I said, if you say these words or phrases, you are calling us the N-word. If you say these ignorant racist terms or phrases around your children, you're also teaching your children to be racist just like you. Someone said in the comments on that video.
Okay, so now this is why I got to critique her, because again, she's not even solidifying her point, because what she said was indeed vague as fuck. And as you're gonna see again, she should have used that time to clearly expanded on it, because apparently they didn't get it down the first time. And just because you showed what you said again does not just like it would have been different if you said specifically in what context, right? You did not give context, you didn't give scenario, you just said a vague ass statement. So people gonna take it how they take it, and you get mad at people taking it how they're taking it. Like, just because you pull up the video again, if you saying the same vague shit with no explanation afterwards, does not mean that people gonna understand what the fuck you're saying. Hell, I don't even know which way you're trying to take the shit. I just know I can take it how I take it. But yeah.
You know what's so funny though? She's trying to get y'all on like a gotcha of misinterpreting her words, but then she's showing you what she said, and it makes her look dumber.
Obviously, using those words against a black person or to describe black people is not the same as using the N-word, because you just said all of those words in your video, but you can't say the N-word, or we can't say the N-word, so it's obviously not the same. It's obvious that you have no critical thinking skills and that you don't have much listening comprehension. Negative racial stereotypes about black people are just as harmful as racial slurs against black people. They are abusive, they are discriminatory, they are harmful, they are dangerous for us, okay?
Now my question for you, sweetheart, is what do you have to say to my black people who say these same words? I hope you don't say the thing that every one of you, for the people, individuals, likes to say about somehow betraying my race, because I'm gonna throw the chair. Like, if you tell me something about me not being with my people because all those words I say about everybody, please don't.
So the key words that you had to tag on at the end of that is the words that you say is about everybody, right? You say that about everybody. They're not trademarked against just black people. Leon, that's the whole point of which I'm trying to make to you, my boy. I don't even know if you're gonna see this. You're probably not gonna see it, but still, that's the difference. Like, it's a key difference, my guy. But again, I'm with you with the fact that she is making herself look bad by not giving context to these things. But that's what I'm here for, right? I'm here to give context. I'm not necessarily agreeing with her, but some of these words that is, especially, we'll get into that later. But it is a slight. Just keep on going.
You would be open to learning and have some sort of humility and curiosity about learning things that you may not know about or may have never heard about, things would be so much easier and so much better. So I'm going to help you out today. Google popular and pervasive stereotypes of African Americans, and you're going to learn something. One thing that you'll find out as it relates to the word lazy, which had everybody stumped apparently.
Because you're trying to compare the word lazy, a word damn near every black mom has said to or about their child at least once.
Why though? Why? Why has every black mother constantly tell their children, do not be lazy? Why is that a thing? Why is that a thing, Leon? Let's dig a little deeper in this. Because I could tell you verbatimly what my mom told me. I had a teacher, Miss Johnson Taylor. She used to always tell me, and she was big on this with all of us. And she was like, they always say if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in the book. Huh? Leon, why is it that we have to tell our children not to be lazy, Leon? What affects that? Huh? My mom always had to tell me that as a black man, right, my stride had to be longer than other people. My work ethic had to be 2 times, 3 times better than my peers. Why is that, Leon? All you gotta do is dig a little deeper for this. Again, I'm not on her side at all, because again, if she would have worded shit better, a lot of this conversation wouldn't be what it is, right? But why is it though, my G? Like we have to really sit back and realize, peel back layers for certain shit. And I understand like where you're coming from, because again, she is saying a lot of vague shit with no context, so you just happen to take it how you take it, right? But let's just keep it $1.50 here, my G. Like, especially when it comes to conversations like this, part of it has to be with your ethnicity, right? Another half of it is where you're at, right? Like, that's what people don't understand. It's a twofer, right? Because who you're around also judges how you view things. And if you're around a particular group of other ethnicities who is welcoming towards you, right, your experiences does differ from a person who lived in an area where other ethnicities did not like this skin color, right? It's a difference, my G. So like really peel back a lot of layers, bro. Like, this is a conversation that need layers peeled back, and not necessarily all you're dumb. Like, it's just is. Granted, how she worded it was dumb, but like in order to get more context on and how to formulate a conversation like this, layers have to be peeled back to some extent. But keep going.
To the N-word, it doesn't really create a strong foundation in your argument. Now, devil's advocate, because I can see her going the route of saying that, in a world where people get overtly jumped on social media, and you have these examples of people getting beat up for saying the N-word hard R to black people, you can sit there and say, oh, well, we have to come up with these secret pieces of terminology to show these black people that we are the higher echelon and IQ, so that they can truly...
This is not a recent thing, bro. That's another thing. Like, this is really not a recent thing, and that's why I'm curious on where it is you actually grew up at. I'm just curious on where you grew up at. I'm not saying like you're dumb or nothing, because you do sound very intelligent. But for the purpose of the conversation, I think again more context need to be told or heard in order for this to become a constructive conversation. Because really all it is,
really understand that we know the real code of how to disrespect them, and they won't understand because they'll think that they're just getting a petty insult thrown at them. It's a word, and these words don't really compare to one another. And guess what? These words aren't exclusive to white people. Everybody has use of the...
You don't know what to see that's the thing about propaganda, right? Because propaganda starts off that way, as you just taking a random word that anybody can use, and you specifically anoint it to one particular group. Let's not say we don't know how propaganda gets started. Like I'm very confused, right? Because if that's the case, there would be no such thing as propaganda, because every word can just be used in every sense of context, right, and not be tokenized to use against one particular person. Then the N word, I'm not even gonna say the N word. The word nigga, right, would never be an issue. if words cannot be designated towards a specific group, right, the word nigga would not be a thing. The word nigga being a racial slur would not be a thing if words cannot be anointed to a particular group of people. Literally. But I digress.
The word lazy, the word dangerous, the word race grifter.
I ain't never heard of race
This ain't
grifter.
hard.
Is that black people have been described as lazy ever since we stopped working for free. Ain't that something? The people who built this country from the ground up, not getting paid for their labor, while being harassed, being lynched, being killed, being abused, being separated from their families, getting absolutely nothing while white people built their wealth on that labor. We're the lazy ones. Interesting. We have
The hard work of my African American brothers and sisters. I'm proud of the history, and I know it sounds like I'm joking. I'm proud of the history. I'm proud of the lineages. I'm getting fucking tired of people who live in the woodlands with iPhones complaining about things they never had the unfortunate circumstance to live through.
yet to be paid.
We might have not lived through it, but we're still feeling the effects of it, my G. We're still feeling the effects of it, my G. Do you want to know what's the difference is between slavery and the Holocaust? Let me just tell y'all the differences, right? Like when we had got our freedom, right? We immediately was used to go and help the Jewish people to get free. And they got actual free, right? We still had segregation. We still had laws appointed to us to separate us. We still had Jim Crow. The American government, right, reprimanded them. Something that they didn't do to them, but they handed reparations to them. Huh? And we had to fight to be able to vote. Nigga, please. This is that's why I say it is all, because I'm again, I'm not gonna call him ignorant because he seemed very intelligent. I actually like a lot of his work, but it's just for this specific argument, right? The influence on him has to be exactly where he's from. Like, it has to be where he's from. Like, it just has to be, my G. Cause like, we're not finna sit and act like there still isn't consequences to all the stuff that happened back then, right? They broke up families for generations and generations. There's still some people right now that do not know their true lineage because, huh? Okay, my G. That's all I'm saying. You can fight you can go down the family tree for how long? It's broken families, my G. They broke a lot of families, my G. Do you know what comes with that? They didn't have technology to find them niggas. When they broke up a family, they broke up a family. to sit here and insinuate, right, like the effects of such things is still not happening is crazy. That's crazy work. But again, right, I'm with you with the whole fact of we're not victimized because of it. I'm with you on that part. We're not victimized because of it, right? But let's not. I need to ask for realism on both sides of this argument right now, okay? Because what she said is equally stupid. Your response to that was just equally stupid. Like it was, my G. But I digress though.
Equal wages. There's still a racial wealth gap. But we're the lazy ones. We're still working. Our patents have been stolen. Our inventions have been stolen. Our ideas are stolen every day. We get no credit for the work that we do. We're the lazy ones, though. Let me stop right there. The point and the moral of the story is...
shout out moral.
Get some humility, get some curiosity, and invest in anti-racism education because you...
Oh, there it is. Invest in the anti-racism education. I'm pretty sure she, along with many other very trustworthy individuals, has a class that will somehow teach you all how to not be racist. And it will be the greatest thing under the sun for you to learn from this woman, particularly how lazy, the greatest, along with...
Invest in anti-racism education because you...
Oh, there it is. Invest in the anti-racism education. I'm pretty sure she, along with many other very trustworthy individuals, has a class that will somehow teach you all how to not be racist. And it will be the greatest thing under the sun for you to learn from this woman, particularly about, for some reason, how lazy in using vernacular or being nice or being a decent person or somehow just sitting there and not speaking on things you don't know about, even though you should be using your white privilege to speak about these things, is somehow going to change the world for the better. Arguably, it's just going to line the pockets of this woman.
Don't know what you don't know. So coming into our comments, coming in with this arrogant, racist, prideful, full of yourself attitude because...
So what's racist about the comment right there above your head? Wait, so these things that you felt okay saying are just as bad as the one word that's not on the table to say? So what's racist about that? That seems like a genuine criticism that could create conversation about what you actually meant. But instead of showing like a real racist comment, instead of showing something based in arrogance or ignorance or something that was direct harassment to you, which you could have done, you could have done that. You instead show the one comment that will make me say, well, you're using all these other words. Many other people use these words. I get the one word off the table, but how do we compare?
Because you think because someone's saying something that you've never heard before, it can't be true. You need to go check yourself and do it off of social media and out of my comments. And for all the people who said...
But you just said you wanted people to come to you and take the anti-racism education class, so how are they gonna take it off social media and go touch grass, but they're supposed to come back to you with this all new setting?
I've seen your video shared all over social media, and there are lots of black people who disagree with you. Or for
I'm one of them.
The black people who were in my comments saying, I'm black and this don't make sense to me, get yourself some education too. You've been taught the same lies that the white people have been taught. So get it together. Get it together.
Okay, so I want to comment on what she said just then. I know I've been disagreeing with this black man for a while, but he just made some valid points. And what she said was kind of stupid because the whole point of the video was to educate people further on what it is you said and how they were supposed to take it, etc., etc. But instead, you made a video that did none of that. Instead, you made a video that did none of that. And none of that. Right? So I'm just saying, hey, I think this is fun. Doing a reaction of a reaction. That's kind of fun. I'm not gonna do it again, but I might do it again. I don't know. But like, I digress.
Together. It doesn't make any sense. You get no points, you get no benefits, you get no bonuses for being an agent of white supremacy.
I hate when people throw that word around, white supremacy. We just throw words around for no reason.
You stupid, feeble-minded motherfucker. What do you mean I, as a black person, need to educate myself on anti-racism? What the fuck do you mean I'm supposed to sit here and not critique my fellow black brothers and sisters? Let me just fucking about-face this for a fucking second, because one of the things that I despise from you, from the people ass niggas, is that you'll sit there and you'll see me talk about a stupid person doing a stupid thing who just so happens to be black, and you go on these long soliloquies about what you doing disrespecting black people like that, what you doing disrespecting black people like that, how could you do that about that, how could you do that about that?
So before he goes on, I do indeed, in fact, hate that shit too. That's why I stopped following Dr. Umar. Sometimes when you, how can I put it, like a lot of times, right, you actively say, oh, I'm for black people, right, but then inherently your ideals is the exact opposite, right? All the pro-blacks, all the African panism people, right? And then they'll be the same ones who say they don't believe in interracial dating, they don't believe in having mixed babies, right? Despite the fact that if you have a mixed baby, right, that baby is classified as a black person, which will indeed be a part of everything you're talking about. Like, like, so just, I agree with them with that part, but we're getting to the part where I'm gonna have to disagree with, and I'm gonna have to break down a whole lot of shit. So let's hurry up and get to that part, and then we wrap up this video.
Yes, I do. Critiquing somebody who genuinely deserves it is not anti-black. Critiquing somebody who genuinely deserves it is not laced in kowtowing for white people. Sitting there complaining that a black guy is gonna talk about black people is stupid, and y'all have done that for a little bit too long. It was funny at first. I got concerned about a couple of y'all, but now I'm actually wondering if half of your brain is gone, because there's no way you could fathom walking this earth and saying that dumb shit with a straight face and thinking any of that shit ever mattered in the first place. It is objectively okay to criticize a black person. You motherfuckers was running around for like a week saying Diddy and no Diddy, and then a few of y'all was like, man, y'all trying to tear down a black person's legacy. Excuse me? No. Stop that. Enough. The gimmick is over. And I don't understand how you could possibly, as somebody trying to get people to somehow at the same time understand you, pay for your anti-racism courses, while also getting off social media, gonna sit there and look me dead in the fucking face and tell me straight up that I, as a black person, critiquing you for the stupid shit you fucking said, am somehow an agent of white supremacy. I don't even know what the fuck that means. All I know, in deep in my soul, when taxes come, I'm getting the benefit of the lifetime because I am an agent of white chaos. But besides the fucking point, you can't have that as a valid excuse for black people looking at you and saying, you're stupid. You can't do it. You'll never be able to do that shit. Never. Objectively, never.
And speaking out against your own people and being anti-black when you're...
I paused it at the wrong time. What do you mean anti-black? Somebody owe me $2,000. I made that bet with y'all at the beginning of this. Y'all, somebody owe me $2,000 because, and I've used these examples before, and I'ma always use them. She said the word dangerous is somehow covert for the N-word. Let me ask y'all an objective question, and you can answer this genuinely in the comments. A black male shooting a black woman over losing a basketball game, wouldn't you call that a dangerous person? A group of black teenagers jumping, robbing, and in that robbery killing a woman, wouldn't you call them dangerous? A man getting out of his SUV and getting gunned down by another man, wouldn't you call that man dangerous? I'm getting fucking sick of this. And the objective fact that critique amongst these type of morons is somehow anti-black makes me flaccid.
objectively, what he said was true. Objectively, what he said was true. But also objectively, right, the fact that, you know what I'm saying, most of what you just said was geared towards black people, and you couldn't think of any that was geared towards any other race, would be objectively the point that she was trying to make. Objectively, right? So again, I digress, but you know, this, finish this shit up for the one time. Yeah, it's definitely where he's from. He get that point of view from, which objectively he's not wrong, right? Objectively he is not wrong, and objectively she is not wrong, right? It is just a thing of this is a conversation that is truly geared around perspective. Okay, all right, so I get that out. All right, now let me take this conversation out of perspective, right, into reality. Okay. I'm gonna bring up thug, I'm gonna bring up the word ghetto, and I want to bring up the word angry. Okay? The first point that I want to come to is the word angry. Right? Now, listen. It was a fucking study done with a room full of kids. Right? I'm talking about these kids are like kindergarten ages. Right? They were shown various pictures of people of various races, right, having various facial expressions. Okay? Alright? Most of the time, if the black man was not smiling in such picture, right, he was viewed as being angry by these kids. Alright? I want y'all to instinctively know how bad that is, right? But because they would do a blank face portrait, and they would do a portrait of the person smiling, right? It'll only be two. It'll be one devoid of emotion and one that's smiling. There was no angry faces. There was no sad faces, right? Cool. Now, whenever it will come to somebody else's blank face portrait, right, they will say words like, oh, he looks disturbed, or he looks sad, right, things like that, right? But usually the word that was appointed the words that was appointed to the black people, right, was angry. Now, you don't have to take my word for it. You can go and actively see this interview. Like, I mean, you go see this experiment. Like, you can go see it. It's an actual video on it. You can go see it. You don't have to take my word for it by any means necessary. Alright? But I digress, right? So, angry. That is a valid stereotypical word that can and is used for propaganda. Let's just say it is what it is, right? Cool beans. You want to know? Now, these are the two big ones. The first one is thug. Let's get it out the way. The first one is thug, right? Now, objectively speaking, right? Objectively speaking, how is that bad? I mean, it's, you know what I'm saying? We had niggas like Tupac screaming thug life and blase, right? We have an excessive amount of gangs, right? How is that bad? Gangs are everywhere. Let's not sit here and try to act like gangs is a specific black thing. Because I really do hate this. I really do hate this shit, right? People really try to sit here and act like there's not a bunch of redneck biker gangs. We gonna sit here and try to act like there's not a whole lot of Latino gangs, right? People like, oh yeah, you know, you mess with. It's more than just the MS-13, my G. There's way more than just one of my family, my G. But nobody get hit with the term of thug, right? Automatically, you get hit with the term of thug. But when you ask what describes a thug, right, and they then presume to give out qualities that most gangs have, right? But then you tend to only find the word thug trademarked on people with darker pigmentation, right? That's the thing. To really sit here, right, and argue that words that can be used in this is my point, right? Because again, right, I'm not taking anybody's side. All I'm doing is I'm just calling stupid what stupid is, and I'm just making everything come together in a nice pretty bow, right? Because the girls we already established just we already established that, right? But my whole point of view, my whole thing when it comes to what the young man said in general, right, was his whole point is how can we say that these everyday words, right, can be weaponized, right? And that's the whole point of propaganda. The whole point of propaganda, my G, is to take an everyday word, okay? It is very rare that they make up a word, okay? It's very rare that they make up a word for that sole purpose. They use already established words. That's the whole point of propaganda. Thug been up before the gangs, like before the Black Americans started gangs and shit. The word thug was already a thing. Let's talk about ghetto, right? Because ironically, ghetto is a word that was made purely for that specific purpose, right? So when people call us ghetto, when they call all black people ghetto, right, where do ghetto originate from? They built ghettos for black people, right? That was something they built for black people, right? And then they proceed to use that, right, as a term to dehumanize us, right? So let's just keep this $1.50, right? But yet again, you ain't addressed that one though, right? You don't want to address the word thug. You don't want to address angry. You don't want to address ghetto, right? Why? Why not? They everyday words. You address lazy. You address dangerous. You race grifter. Cause I'm with you on that one. I don't even know what the fuck that is neither. But the whole point is, my G. Do you understand? Just collectively is what she said. Yeah, was wrong, right? Collectively, what she said was wrong, right? But the idea is still there. Like the subtlety of such thing is still around, my G. We not finna sit here and act like everything she said was incorrect. Maybe a lot of the shit she said was a stretch. You feel me? But everything she said was not incorrect. It was a stretch. Hell yeah. She was reaching for a majority of it. Fuck yeah. But you're reaching too, my guy. Let's not sit here and act like the word thug, ghetto, ratchet, and angry are not words that inducively, instinctively have other people look at people with our skin complexion with fear. Let's not sit here and act like that. People look at this skin complexion, right? They see how tall I am, they see how wide I am, right? And I walk into a room, people automatically get scared. Why? And if I walk in showing no facial expressions, they think I'm angry. People are already on alert. I was at an airport going to Chicago one time, right? And what's the no, I was already there. I made it there, right? I'm getting off for the what's the name? I'm waiting on my bags to get there, right? Imagine the whole time I'm waiting on my bags, ain't nobody talking to me. My homeboy who came pick me up, he walked in, he said, "Hey man, what's it about, man? You know what I'm saying? We threw a few jokes and he went back to the car, because you know what I'm saying, they put the ticket on your shit, they actually drive back around all that shit, right? But after the dude see me had a conversation with my friend, he see me smiling, he see me laughing, he was like, "Hey man, you know what I'm saying? One Piece is," he said something about One Piece being a never-ending journey or some stupid shit, right? And I was like, "Huh?" He was like, "Your shirt, man, One Piece." He was like, I was like, "Oh yeah, I see what you did there," because that at the time the joke was One Piece ain't never fucking ended. That was the whole point of the thing. But my whole thing is a motherfucker that I've been seeing the whole flight. Motherfucker I seen before the flight, right? Motherfucker didn't talk to me until my facial expression changed, right? But the whole thing is, right, because of their skin, right, and because like black people got automatic angry faces, right? People instinctively fear or it I'm not even gonna say fear. It instinctively, right, gives people certain precautions around black people, right? You shouldn't just be, granted, right? If I see a group of people, I don't give a fuck what color they is, right? If I see a group of people, I ain't gonna say that. If I see a group of men, okay, walking in my direction, right, my whole thing, I'm crossing the fucking street. I don't give a fuck. Call me a bitch all you fucking want, alright? I'm crossing that goddamn street. I don't give a fuck. But if I'm just walking across the goddamn street, right, and the bitch instinctively grab a quick hold of her purse, like I'm finna steal the shit, okay, we got an issue. Alright? Like, let's just keep it $150, my G. Like, we not finna sit here and act like these words isn't what they is. We not finna sit here and act like there's not stereotypes put in place because of that. Like, there's good stereotypes and there's bad stereotypes, right? There's good stereotypes and there's bad stereotypes. But to sit here and act like there aren't any, that makes you delusional, my guy. But like I said, it's your boy KP. Welcome back to another episode on Common Opinion. Leave a like, comment, subscribe to the motherfucking channel. Okay? Now I'll let you niggas later.
We finna run up these digits, yeah. Hey, stop being choosy. Dumb niggas always saying something stupid. Broke niggas always acting clueless. Ain't nothing wrong with acting bougie, ayy.